Bend your right knee, right sole of the foot on the floor. Sleeping pigeons where we're going next. Left ankle, top of right thigh. Flex your left foot, left knee away from you. You can keep your right foot on the floor, or you can lift your right foot and wind your hands around your right leg for support. Let your shoulders soften, feel your breath. Notice the nice easy stretch in the low back and the hips. Keep breathing, let your shoulders soften. Keep your left foot flexed. And then make sure to use your abdominal muscles to support the transitions between poses, because that will keep your low back healthy. We're going to unwind and draw the knees back in towards your chest. So hug the knees into the chest. The next part of the sequence that we're going to do is going to work with stretching the hamstring muscles. These are the muscles in the back of the thigh. We're going to do one leg at a time, starting with the right. Sole of the left foot to the floor, right leg in the air. First, we're going to do the dynamic resistance. Take your hands and interlace your hands behind your right thigh in the center of the hamstring muscles. Press your leg forward into your hands. Press your hands back into your leg. Let your right hip come forward a little bit. Extend the right leg up. Continue to move the leg away from you. This is the dynamic resistance. What we're doing here with the resistance is both stretching and strengthening the hamstring muscles. This also helps to release tension from the low back, creates a sensation of decompression, which is important, especially if you spend a lot of time sitting or standing. Creates a lot of compression in the low back. We're going to take a couple more breaths here. And next we're going to move from the dynamic resistance to the simple hamstring stretch. So we'll release the resistance, walk the hands up the leg, take the leg closer towards you. You can bend the knee slightly if you need to, but the focus is on lengthening these muscles in the back of the leg. This is important because the hamstring muscles attach deep in the pelvis, and if they're tight, they pull on the low back. When we can create length here, it helps us to release any tension in the low back. Feel your shoulders relax. Make sure you're not straining to reach your foot, that you're not hunching your shoulders up. Keep your shoulders relaxed, your upper body completely relaxed. In our next pose, we're going to come back to sleeping pigeon. And from sleeping pigeon, we're going to move into the sleeping pigeon twist. So in sleeping pigeon, we're going to bend the right knee, take the right ankle to the top of the left thigh, flex your right foot, and for sleeping pigeon twist, keep your legs in this shape, roll your left thigh down to the floor so that the right sole of the foot comes to the floor, right knee up in the air, right hip drops. The right hip drops not because the muscles contract, but the bone drops, and this allows the muscles around the outer hip, around the outer thigh, around the low back to stretch and release. Sole of the right foot comes to the floor, right knee up in the air, right hip drops. Continue to feel your breath. If you spend a lot of time sitting or standing or even riding a bike, lying on a couch, sitting in a car, standing over a stove, all kinds of things, these muscles can get tight. And the more we can do to stretch and release here, the happier our low back will be. We're going to get ready to come and do the sequence on the other side. We're going to transition out of this pose using the abdominal muscles. Take a deep breath, inhale. Exhale, engage your abdominal muscles, draw them in, roll onto your back. Unwind your right leg, take the soles of the feet to the floor. We're going to do a few windshield wipers. Just let your knees sway a little bit from side to side. We're going to repeat this sequence on the other side. So first, the dynamic resistance. Extend the left leg up. Take your hands, interlace your fingers behind your left thigh. Shoulders relax. Press your left leg forward, hands into the leg, left hip forward. So creating this dynamic resistance, lengthening and strengthening the hamstring muscles. It's nice to spend a little bit of time in this pose because that gets the muscles to actually lengthen a little bit, which then helps us to release stress and tension in the low back. And then from here, we're going to transition into the simple hamstring stretch. So we release the resistance, walk the hands up the leg, draw the leg closer towards you, shoulders away from your ears, relax your face. Feel the length through the back of the left leg. Just this alone can be helpful for relieving tension in the low back. Our hamstring muscles are stabilizers. They're also postural muscles, so they're contracting when we're standing up, they're contracting when we're sitting. So it's important to have something in our daily routine that helps to stretch them out. Our next pose is going to be sleeping pigeon on the way to sleeping pigeon twist. Bend your left knee, left ankle to the top of the right thigh, flex your left foot, left knee moves away from you. Keep your legs in this shape and then roll the right thigh to the floor so that the left sole of the foot comes to the floor, left knee up in the air, left hip drops. Release any strain or tension or sense of effort from the pose. The dropping occurs because the bones drop, not because you're contracting the muscles. Let your arms relax at your sides. Feel your hip continue to drop. Notice the sense of space around your low back, your outer thigh. Take a few deep breaths. And have some patience here, because sometimes it can seem like it takes a few breaths or more for the muscles to actually relax. We're going to transition out of this pose, back onto your back with the knees into the chest. Take a deep breath, inhale here. Exhale, engage your abdominal muscles. Remember, moving from here helps to stabilize and protect the low back. Use your abdominal muscles to roll back. Unwind your legs. Hug your knees into your chest.